This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah.
This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk. This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Bro, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander. Charmander. Or are you more of a Charmeleon guy?
Charmeleon.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what it
Schlecht?
means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to episode 164 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down to dunk and get The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I'm Luke! Joined this morning by Andrew.
But I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Woo!
Slam through.
Taylor.
It's so much better when the thunder wins. Slam through.
And Jay.
It's Jay. Well,
You know, when bad things happen to you,
Why do bad things happen to good people?
that's a great question.
Let's talk about that.
Let's start with that.
Free
Why
will,
are
man.
bad things happening to good people across
Wow.
the world? But when bad things
No,
happen
to us.
to your car or to your house, you should call Aaron or Drew Reese to help you out. These are the guys you need to have in your life. Trust me. Call Aaron 405-773-5500. Call Drew 405-478-7714. Call or text them. Maybe you're into texting. I don't know.
Into it.
If you're really into that, you should text these guys and let them know that you need coverage from the best in Oklahoma City.
What would being really
I'm going to,
to texting be?
I don't know, but I'm going to text them right now because I need help. There's been a disaster.
Oh, no. Well,
I need coverage.
for what?
The Thunder are down 2-1
Oh,
in the
no.
finals.
Yeah,
It's
that's.
like an absolute disaster.
Would you guys like to play the most depressing game in the world?
yeah.
Yoo-hoo!
Why can't we have a FriPod after a win?
I know. There was a win
know.
between.
Okay, what did the Thunder shoot in the mid-range
No.
in Game 3 against the Indiana Pacers?
This is the same game we played last
30%.
Game 1.
I'm going to say 9%.
9.
Okay.
I'll go 28.
Okay. Taylor wins. There were 25%. Let's guess, what did the
Technically-
Pacers shoot?
Technically, Price is Right rules, I win.
We're not playing Price is Right rules.
65%.
Pacers in the mid-range,
Yeah.
65%,
54.
I'm going to say 69%.
58%. I think Taylor wins that.
Dang, Taylor.
I forgot what numbers we said right after we said them.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
Jay said 69.
58.8.
No, Luke did.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll never forget Luke's.
Jay,
Um,
Jay, you're nasty.
how about in the
Jay, you're
paint?
nasty.
Non-restricted area in the paint, but not around the hoop. What did they shoot?
This feels like
The
a
Thunder?
repeat
The
of
Thunder.
game 1. 23%.
30%.
Yeah, I'll go 33.
33 is correct.
Wow, Taylor. Whoa.
Guys, I won this last week too,
take
by the way.
take a bow.
And then
Not yet.
The Pacers.
Gotta finish
what
the
did-
job.
What did the Pacers shoot in the paint, non-restricted area?
82%.
Go 60, 61%.
Let's say 70%.
61% is exactly correct.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yes.
How's that possible?
How is that possible?
Wow.
How could I know these? How could I have cheated at this?
'Cause you're a
Possibly.
genius.
Put
I'm
it on.
not sure.
Maybe I'm a genius.
That's good.
But you
Maybe
should-
I'm like reading your
Give us-
energy really well.
Like,
maybe.
tell us other things.
All right. Ask me questions.
So that's bad. That's really bad.
Anything else to depress us?
What about 3
What did the
point?
Pacers shoot from the corners in game 3?
Actually, not very well. I remember that one. Like 13%.
Oh, really? I don't know this one. I'll go 27.
I'll go 30.
14%.
Whoa.
One of 7 from the corners. The Thunder shut down the corners. Good job.
They opened
Thunder.
up everything else.
It was in my observation of the game is it wasn't. They didn't play as Mark said. There was a lot of things that they did that were uncharacteristic of them. Oklahoma City. The offense bogging down to the degree that it did in the fourth quarter. I mean, they're outscored by 14 points in the fourth.
It was so bad.
I think it was like 32-18 in the fourth. I mean, I could look that up with certainty.
I don't know.
I just have been avoiding anything.
It was
about this
32-18. Good job, Jay. Correct.
Just trying to be like Taylor, guys.
We're perfect together.
I just
One of us is getting it right, not me.
That's true. Yeah, collectively.
there are
But
these
we're
moments. There are these moments, and it's happened every series so far, where you just are reminded that they're young. They're really young,
Yeah.
and it shows up. Chet was maybe the best player on the court for the first quarter and a half.
Dude,
and then in the fourth,
Chet and Dort in that first quarter, I was like, okay, this is a really good sign.
and Shea wasn't great to start, but ended up kind of figuring some things out. Dub did as well. So there were a lot of things where you're watching, you're like, they should be winning this.
Mhm.
But the fourth quarter just fell completely apart. And some of it was like there was a bunch of weird calls, which I don't ever blame the refs for things like this. But like Miles Turner had Chet in a headlock on one of those drives towards the end of the game, which you don't see in the moment. And I'm not saying officiating changed the outcome of the game, but it's just when you are trying to get where you want to go and you can't get there because they've been allowed to be physical, which is it started where they were. I mean, remember, like the very beginning of the game,
So many fouls.
foul call immediately. So it was like it looked like they were setting the standard to officiate it like, pretty tightly. And then towards the end, it was like, man, just whatever. There's one where Shea got bodied pretty intensely doing the same thing he's done 1,000 times this playoffs, and they didn't
Neesmith
call it.
runs at Caruso, swings his arms at him.
Yeah, that one's wild.
hits him on the shoulder.
Should have been flagrant.
They said there's no wind up.
No follow through either.
That was insane. That was insane. Like that. Like if those are the criteria,
right?
How
Did you see
don't get it.
the
That's
funny one too that I
ridiculous.
just am like, what? I don't understand challenges. I don't understand marking challenges.
Yeah.
The TJ McConnell save out of bounds where he lands and then throws the ball and hits Kaysen.
I know.
It's like, what?
Can we not? Yeah, we should challenge that one.
There was one.
There also should be some automatic challenges too, like that blatant miss on the iHeart.
Dude, that didn't even make sense.
No,
He
was
didn't
like
reach his
3 feet
arms
away
out.
from it. No,
That was crazy.
I do a bunch of dumb things like that, but the Thunder just crap the bed in the fourth quarter.
Dude,
Like,
this
were
is-
not
this-
themselves.
This is the sequence of the game right here. The Thunder at 8:43 or 8:41, they are up 95-91. Andrew Nimhard makes a mid-range jumper. Alex Caruso gives the ball to TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
And then TJ McConnell scores. And now it's not a 4-point game. It's tie game.
Isn't that when Alex said embarrassing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
when
how many times did TJ McConnell do that?
3 times. 3 times.
It was
You
the
figured-
honestly, it was the TJ McConnell and Ben Matherin game.
Oh,
Which Ben Matherin did that because of you.
Yeah, probably.
You were trash talking Ben Matherin so badly
He
after game
sucked in
2.
He sucked in game 2.
You know what he didn't do though in game 3?
He did not suck.
But it might actually be to the benefit of the Thunder. Because now I might be like, oh, I'm
I'm the man. Am
I'm
I
the
the man?
I'm the man. Ben Matherin.
you're pretty good at that, man.
Thanks, man.
There's a
Yeah.
couple things you're good at. Knowing the number of old Thunder players,
Yeah.
Yeah.
knowing the random percentage of depressing stats in this exact playoff series,
Yeah.
and then making songs out of words that kind of work.
You have
Thank you.
you have an unnatural power on Friday the 13th.
Ooh, I'm OP. I'm OD.
I'm feeling spooky.
Ooh,
Honestly.
Ooh, spooky Lukey.
this is spooky.
It's very, very spooky.
So it's spooky hours, right?
Spooky hours.
It is. Yeah. I mean, that moment of the game just it felt like they not only gave the ball to TJ, but gave the game away after that. Because their offense just died and defensively they were just toast. It's crazy because I mean, going into the fourth, you were feeling pretty good because the Thunder were they
Go
up 5?
Yeah.
And I mean,
J-Dub, the third was J-Dub hit that 3.
J-Dub hit the 3.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like, okay,
This is it. Keep
great.
going.
This is the run. Like let's do this.
I think I
This is
texted. I was like, "This feels like Game 4 Denver. It's going to be tight, but I think they're going to pull it out."
89-84.
What's funny though is it felt more like Game 3 Denver.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is mirroring that series.
That is kind
in
of
so many
crazy.
ways.
Yeah.
Listen, who won the series?
The Thunder in 7.
But I just don't want to go to freaking 7 games. I was
Why
talking to
not?
someone about
Listen.
this.
Listen,
Win the next 2 and then get to Game 7 in Oklahoma City.
That's kind of how I feel like this is going to go.
Yeah.
Is that they'll take the next 2. Here's the deal too: is that Carlisle makes these adjustments or is doing things, and it just takes Mark a little bit of time to get there, which is okay. Like this is his first NBA Finals.
Yeah.
But the way that they were guarding Shea and the way they were guarding them, it just felt like, all right, do your thing harder. You know, like what do you even say?
That is so funny and such a appropriate way to define how they responded.
Yeah.
Just go, just do it. Do it.
Right. Do it more than
so
you
real.
Just did. All right, break.
And they tried. It was like force it. It was forced. So many forced plays.
Yeah. And I'm sure that there was way more strategy to it than that, but that's just how it felt watching it.
So coaching is the easiest thing for everyone to scapegoat because it's the thing we all understand the least, probably, right? And
totally. We I mean the amount that Mark understands is if he's at 100%, we're at what, 7?
Yeah. That's probably that's probably closer to the truth.
It's taken me a while to get to 7.
Yeah. We spent 12 years.
I feel pretty good at 7 though.
But here's the thing that happens though that you see with these experienced coaches, is that like when Carlisle makes adjustments, he makes like 2 very big, very important, very simple adjustments. Right? They're simple to understand. They're simple to execute, but they have a huge impact on the game. But these younger coaches, I feel like they make 7 adjustments and they kind of see like which one works. You know, if you have experience and wisdom and just like a lot of years coaching, you know what's going to work after you watch the game. And I feel like that's what I'm seeing. Now, I say this while also acknowledging I have no idea what I'm seeing from a coaching point of view, but it feels that way.
Yeah, and the big one that everybody's alluding to from Carlisle was the way they picked. I mean, they were full court, covering Shea and trying to get the ball out of his hands.
Dude, that Substack article that Alex sent.
Yeah. You remember who wrote that?
I don't, but I can figure that out really quickly so that we have the credit. But essentially, it's showing on average.
In the playoffs this year has picked up Shea further into the court than the Pacers have in Game 2 and 3. The thing I'm also like, Game 2 was 5 feet away from Game 3, and Game 2 Shea had a perfect game. You know, so I'm like, I don't think it ultimately impacts that much.
I know
it is, and some of this is repeating stuff that we've texted in the text thread, but it is why I wish I know that it makes sense defensively to start Case and Wallace, and I'm not going to blame anything that's happened or not happened on that. I like iHeart being on the floor more with Shea because of the space that iHeart can give Shea. Like nobody screens like iHeart except for Kenrich. Like I think it's one of the reasons Kenrich has been helpful when he's on the floor with them. So he's able to give them space, and I would like to see more Kenrich minutes probably too. Just because I'm like he also should be able to defend Siakam pretty well. Anyway, there's a lot of reasons I would say that I would like a little more Kenrich. But and then you look at, so number one is iHeart being able to give the space to Shea to operate the way that he wants to. And the offense just moves better when iHeart is running that kind of top of the key, movement. And then the other thing is Kaysen has been just a 0 on offense since moving to the starting lineup in this series.
Yeah.
I know it's only 3 games. He hasn't made a 3-pointer. And there was always something when Kaysen and Caruso would come off the bench together that just felt like, like
it's the Bash Brothers.
Bash Brothers.
Yeah.
And that kind of just pivoted with them.
Yeah. So real quick, that Substack is from Owen Phillips. So just wanted to make sure he got credit for that. But it's really good. He's kind of breaking down on average through all the series. Like Memphis picked up Shea just above half court. Denver picked up Shea like at the 3-point line on their side, not on our side. Minnesota right at half court, and then the Pacers are like all up in Shea's business, like right at the goal, at the basket, basically.
Well, and somebody asked Shea yesterday something to the effect of like, how do you adjust, or were you surprised the way that Nembhard was able to like kind of fluster you mentally with his pressure? And he's like, I'm not flustered mentally.
And I do believe that. I do believe he's not flustered mentally.
I know, but if he was, that's what you said.
Yeah,
like, if someone's flustered mentally, like I'm not.
Do you actually? I feel like we've seen enough from Shea to actually believe that.
He's done a few things that just make you think that. Like at the beginning of the game, when Nembhard is just like being a pest to him, like he gets an offensive foul. Like, was it the first play of the game?
No, because the Dort foul was one of the first plays. Then it was like maybe the first or second offensive series. Like, within 2 seconds, both of them got a foul.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what to call that, but also Shea is not going to say anything in a press conference that's going to give the Pacers anything. And so, like, it's a part of his gamesmanship too. Like, I think when he says, I'm not sure, it's his polite Canadian way of saying next question, in my opinion. Like, I just don't know. I think that maybe he isn't sure, but a lot of times I feel like he says that because he doesn't want to give anything to anybody, any fuel or bulletin board material, which I think is smart. Like, it's a very, like, it's a good way to lead, I think, this team.
Yeah.
Because if he's out there and he's spouting off about how Andrew Nembhard is doing this or that, I think it's a bad look for you.
Well, and you can't do that as the big brother, the big Canadian brother. You have Dort and Shea, the big brothers from Canada, and then you have Ben Mathurin and Nembhard really trying to give it to they're the little brothers.
Yeah,
trying to give it to the big brothers, punching them. I can beat you up. You're not that much bigger than me. Being ultra aggressive, too aggressive. Big brother can't give little brother anything.
Yeah,
am I right, guys?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right.
And then the bench. I think the other thing, the bench is
You're exactly right, actually.
Yeah, that's my analysis.
Was so dramatically different, obviously, than game 2, but just felt like the most lopsided bench scoring against the Thunder that I can remember.
Yeah.
You had Mathurin at 27, TJ McConnell had 10, Obi had 8, and then Shepherd had 4. And then you go over to the Thunder, and it's like Caruso had 8, Ihart had 4, Isaiah Joe had 6, and then nobody else scored.
That's it.
And by the way, Caruso was a minus 15, led the league in minus.
Or led the game.
We really
no, he did lead the league.
Technically, the league.
True.
That night.
Yeah.
We really need to win tonight.
I agree.
Great point.
If I were to give the Thunder some advice tonight, I'd say win the game.
You've got to win. It's
imperative. If you want to win the series, you gotta win.
Yeah.
You gotta win at least three out of the next 4.
Yeah.
3 out of the next 5.
But we've got it. But tonight, we've
4.
got to do it.
You know what the Thunder's best lineup in that game was?
Hit me.
What?
Hit me with it.
It's the starting lineup.
Yeah.
I was about to say, don't tell me.
It's the starters. They're a +6 in their minutes together.
Wait, hold on. When you say the starters, the starting lineup for that game or the normal starting lineup?
No, SGA, Kaysen, Chet, Dub.
What do you? So
hasn't that been a plus throughout the series?
Yeah.
Unpack that for me. Why? So really, the only change is Kaysen for Caruso. That's how they close.
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't like match with like my brain at all. But that's what should have been.
I mean, most of their minutes are going to come right at the beginning of the game, though, for that lineup.
They did play,
and I do feel like
beginning of the game.
I do feel like we are getting up. I mean, OKC is getting up at the start of the games.
Yeah. The Pacers starting lineup was a -10.
Yeah, Miles Turner was atrocious at the start of that game. Actually, the whole game he was pretty bad.
Although he defensively clamped down on Chet.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
The Pacers have been surprisingly good defensively. I wasn't expecting that.
They've been very good defensively.
They just know where they're playing. They're playing. I mean, dude, I was having this conversation with my son. Is like if you took. So what did they start? 15-10 or 10-15 or something to start the season?
Oh yeah, they were not good the
They're
first
not good
half of
in
the
first
season.
30 games
No.
of the year. But if you look at the last 50 games of the year, including the playoffs, they're probably on pace to be a 57 to 60 win team.
Yeah.
All of that kind of makes sense if you look at the way they performed in the playoffs, and they were benefited by some injuries for Boston, for Cavs, whatever. But at the same time, like they don't get here on a fluke, for a fluke reason. Like they are playing really well at the right time. And defensively has been where I've been the most impressed with them. Offensively, they're not doing anything that makes me go, oh, wow, there's no way the Thunder can stop that. It's defensively where they've been able to bog things down without going to like what I kind of consider like a cheating-ish kind of way. Not really cheating, but the zone is where you're like, oh, okay, well, if it slows down that way, that makes sense. But they're playing like a real
they play
man. I don't know. It's just they're just playing really impressive defense.
In that New York series, I was watching the Pacers going like, they play actually a pretty similar style, a similar approach as the Thunder, right? Defensively. They are playing man. They're playing hard, physical, throwing hands. I mean, what was the turnover difference? It was 17 turnovers for the Thunder and only 13 for the Pacers. So, yeah, okay, if we lock down the corners, on defense, you have to give something up. You're choosing the thing that you're giving them.
It's truly 19-14.
19 to 14
turnovers, but
okay.
like the ESPN box score does say 17. But
why?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. But so we stopped the 3-point from the corners.
Yeah,
but also we don't get any turnovers out of them. Is that the thing that we traded?
Yeah, I mean they were 19 turnovers to 16 assists. The Thunder, and part of the problem, like they are not moving the ball. They are.
Yeah.
It's. Can I beat you off the dribble? And if I do, great. If I don't,
but don't you think that is a response to how Indiana's playing defense? So on offense, you just play more scared because you're really trying to protect the ball.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. What did I say?
Nothing.
What?
That game one, is that you'll think about that at all?
I don't know.
I don't know what I said.
Like, how much different does game 3 feel of game 1 if the Thunder don't let go of the rope in game 1?
Yeah, it doesn't feel. It feels like, hey, that was the Pacers' best shot. Is what it feels like.
And instead, it's putting us in a spiral where it's like,
and it was their best shot at the Thunder, but it feels way worse. If the Thunder just hang on to win by 1 in game 1, then we're not sitting here talking about this.
Yep.
God.
And I know that's like pretty simple, and I mean it's not like earth-shattering analysis or anything to say that, man, that game 1 looms large, but it does have a
it will until it won't.
Pain, right? Yeah.
Just like the game 1 against Denver.
Yeah.
It was the same feeling at this point.
Yes.
After game 3,
yeah,
we're sitting here thinking, God, that one play, the one Aaron Gordon shot in transition, if we would have just gotten back or
made the free throws,
Chet's free throw, like there were just so many things. And this one, it's to me the thing that just continues to stick out is the turnovers and the fact that Indiana the entire night was the aggressor.
Yeah,
and the Thunder, when they tried to get up after getting punched in the mouth, they would just get punched again.
Yeah, the third quarter, you felt like, and we already kind of talked about this, but you felt like the third quarter was where it started to like, oh, the Thunder took all of the energy back.
Yeah,
because they're down 4 going into half and ended up at the end of 3 up 5, so they won the quarter by 9 and played their game. They were making mid-range. They were moving the ball well. They were playing good defense. Like it looked like it was turning, and it's where you said it. It's like simple moments like the TJ McConnell. Nembhard to McConnell inbound steal, which I call like the Jose Alvarado, but somehow it was not as hidden as Like
No,
he just
he's
was
standing
there.
right in front of
He's
you.
right there.
And it happened so quickly. I'm not even like I think I stepped out for like a second. And I was like, what happened?
Yeah. I mean, you give up 4 points
Teej.
in a 4-point game. I mean, you just can't do it. I mean, it's focus. It's simple things for them.
Wiggs getting beat with energy by TJ McConnell multiple times in the first. I was like, what are we doing?
I know.
It just felt like a
Wiggs
lack
game.
of focus. That's where I'm like, it's immaturity. They're not locked in. So that's why I expect a pretty different response tonight.
Yeah.
We've got to win tonight.
I kind of wish that
Guys,
true.
That's it.
True.
That's what we have to do. If we don't, it's
Would you call it a
bad.
must-win situation?
It's must win. Backs against the wall.
Not technically must win, but they should win.
It's must.
They
should.
I mean, the Thunder haven't lost 2 games in a row during the playoffs.
They also didn't lose to the Eastern Conference, any Eastern Conference team as much as they've lost to an Eastern Conference team this series.
It's true.
The finals are just a different. It's a different thing.
Yeah,
we gotta win. We gotta do it.
You feel the pressure, and the
I
Thunder felt the pressure.
Yeah, they are the better team still. I wonder if they should go back to iHeart. I don't think that it's.
I don't think it'll happen. Apparently,
I don't know.
At
I
least
would
get
like
more
for
than
them-
18 minutes.
I know. I would like for them to go back to iHeart.
But dude, even if they just take care of
to
the
start.
ball,
That's all they have to do.
just
honestly.
uncharacteristically sloppy. I mean, like I just did a quick. The Thunder have won the turnover battle in Game 1 and Game 2. Game 2 is pretty close. Game 1 was a landslide. I bet if you went through the playoffs, and I'm sure somebody could do this with not a lot of effort, but I'm just some reason can't navigate Basketball Reference or NBA.com. How many games in the playoff have the Thunder lost the turnover battle?
I don't know. It's probably just been this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I bet if you went back through, you could figure that out. But I know you could do that. But I'm assuming if you went,
I believe you could do it.
I'll put some effort in here in a minute. I'll just be gone for the rest of the podcast. trying
Okay,
to,
don't
like,
do it.
Okay, well,
Don't do it.
It's like 3 hours later. Aha!
I figured it out. Shoot a text out. That's what was so like, just sloppy. Like the team that has some of the best hands that we've seen on an NBA team has been been incapable of holding onto it. Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird. It's just weird.
It is very weird. I'm looking right now. I see one against Denver. They actually won the game in that one.
Which game was it?
Oh wait, nope, that's wrong. They didn't. They actually won that one. Hold on, sorry, I haven't found one yet. You guys can talk while I do this.
False alarm.
False news. False news. Fake news. Fake alarm.
So I had just an aside.
Game 3 against Minnesota that they got blown out.
Yep.
They lost the turnover battle in that one. I believe that's it.
Yep.
And then game 3 against Indy. That's it.
Game 3s.
Doesn't it make sense?
Game 3s.
They have sucked in game 3s.
Get out of here.
What?
We don't have any more.
Just kind of a weird aside for Thunder fans is how little I've been paying attention to the draft.
Yeah.
Like KOC came out with his mock draft yesterday. Sam Vecini's draft guide is coming
we
out.
recorded last night with Vicini for Slam and Jam.
And his draft guide's either out or coming out
It's out.
soon. Okay.
It's out. Yep. It's out already.
This is just you should go to theathletic.com / down to dunk.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
But I haven't looked at a mock draft. I haven't done anything draft related.
No.
Kind of.
Well, we can't care about that right now.
But it's 2 weeks away. Isn't that
It's
wild?
2 weeks away. I know.
I don't care. We're in the finals.
I know.
We'll
That's
have
what I'm
a
saying.
little-
Doesn't that at least feels?
We'll have a little news about a little draft party for you guys soon.
Oh.
How many times did the Thunder turn the ball over 19 or more times in the regular season?
0.
No.
I'm gonna guess 4 times.
8.
Once.
Against the Indiana
That is
Pacers.
crazy.
Against the Pelicans. In a game they won by 10. How many of the games this is bad. Okay, how many games did they lose when they had 15 or more turnovers in the regular season?
How many games did they lose?
Yeah, 15 or more. They did it 12 times. 12 times they had 15 or more turnovers. How many of those did they lose?
10.
Yeah, I would say 8.
2.
2. 2 is
Two,
correct.
wow.
They lost twice. They lost to Dallas and to Houston. Every other game they won. In fact, with 17 or more turnovers, they were undefeated in the regular season.
Yeah, seems like an outlier. In game 3.
They're
Wasn't it the Memphis series that they were down 27 in game 3?
Yeah, but Jaw got hurt. That was the one.
Yeah, but it's the same point. I was making the same
What's
point.
I mean, they had the least amount of turnovers of any
It's the
team.
worst
in the
game they
league.
played in each one of the series.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wow.
It's game 3.
yeah. Game 3 is
Because game 3, the Denver
What's the
one
deal?
was the one. It was Mother's Day, and it was the one that the first quarter ended like 4-7.
Oh yeah.
Nobody could
Oh,
make
yeah.
anything.
yeah.
And they ended up losing. That was Dub's best game of the series, which also Dub was pretty good against the Pacers in game 3.
Mhm.
But game 3 against the Wolves was the one they lost by 40.
Okay, so let's talk Jub.
But let's talk game 4s.
All right, game
are-
4 is
Game
what
4s are we're a lot better. We're a game 4 team. Some
Game
would
4
say.
against Memphis was the closeout.
Second
game.
half
That
of the
was
series
easy.
team.
Game
Second
4,
half of the series team.
Game 4 of the Nugs was the
Game 4 was the close one that they pulled out.
yeah, that one was the most stressful game I've ever experienced.
It was really
87.
fun. Yeah.
And then game 4 against the Wolves was the best game, maybe the best playoff game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
128, 126.
Game 4 team.
Game 14, baby.
Second half of
Game
the series
14,
team. Second half of the series.
Second
Hopefully,
half.
hopefully Mark D has figured out what doesn't work and what works. Second half.
Would be nice.
What doesn't work? Turning over the ball.
What doesn't work? Not playing your offensive game the way that you play offense because you're scared of turning the ball over.
How have you felt? You just mentioned it. How have you felt about Dub?
So I was actually surprised to see Jub's line after that game because it was not passing the eye test for me. And a lot of times with stars, it's more like, I don't care when you get baskets, but are you getting the timely baskets that are like the really important momentum swinging baskets? And I just feel like Jub was not having that game. And so I was surprised to see that he was as efficient as he was because the baskets that it felt like he really needed to make, he didn't. Does that make sense?
He was 50% from the field, 50% from 3. He did go 7 of 11 from the free throw line.
Yeah, some of those misses down the stretch, dude.
It felt like that's another thing is that they could have been within striking distance at the
Multiple
end,
times.
Yeah.
but just the missed free throws down the stretch just killed it. And he had between Shea and J-Dub, they had 10 turnovers.
Yeah, it's the star player baskets that make that player a star. Like Kobe was never known for being like the most efficient player in the game ever. Never. But he always made the important baskets and he was the star. He was the guy. Shea has that too. Jub had that, eventually got to that point in some of the other series, but it took him halfway through the series to get that way, to feel comfortable.
My frustration with Jub in game 3, like, I just wish he was a little more aggressive on his 3-point shots. Like, you shot 2 3-pointers.
Took 2. I know.
Like, you should be shooting 6.
He shied away
7.
from it in the playoffs.
And you look at Chet too. This is just simple things where it's like, it's not. I think the hardest part about that Pacers game 3 is I was watching and I'm just like, I can't pinpoint one specific thing other than maybe turnovers.
Yeah.
But then you look at like Chet was 0 of 6 from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not shot it well from 3 in this series.
I do feel like that's the way he's played the whole season, though, is he has games where he goes 4 of 5 and then games where he goes 0 of 6.
The problem is we haven't even seen a big enough sample of Chet.
Yeah,
you
that's
know
true.
what I mean? Like, I don't know. How many times did Shea turn the ball over? 6 or more times in the regular season?
3?
7.
I'm going to say 10.
3 is correct. 3 times. Against
Good job,
Charlotte,
dude.
against Sacramento, and against Denver. And they went 2-1 in those games. So
It's just Taylor being Taylor.
You see what Evan Fournier did? In Greece?
No.
Yeah,
He
Elman sent it to us.
He made an obscene gesture to the crowd.
Well, so did DeMarcus Cousins.
Well,
What did they
I
do?
didn't see that
DeMarcus Cousins grabbed himself and then like put his hand after grabbing himself in some fan's face.
one. What is it? That's wild.
He got booted,
Why?
He got booted out of the league.
Why?
The next day. He was talking trash. I don't know.
Talking trash. It's crazy.
I mean, also it's Boogie. Boogie was probably close to doing that multiple times when he was in the NBA too.
It's so disgusting.
Any other depressing stats for us, Andrew?
I got something that'll make you feel not depressed.
Yeah.
That might actually make you feel depressed.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
that
that makes
does.
you feel
That's an
very
album I'm going to
depressed.
put on every time the Thunder lose now. Just throw
It's
on.
good.
Yeah.
It's, you know why that song is so good? How he knew that was so good? It's on both his, he put it on 2 CDs.
Yeah, one is acoustic version. One has.
So what are we talking about? No one else has any idea.
Dashboard
what you two are
Confession.
talking
He just
about.
played the song.
I know, but he played it down
Dashboard.
here.
There's a lot of people that listen to the show that would not know who Dashboard is.
What?
Yes.
Guys,
Yes.
if you're listening to this, treat yourself today to the Swiss Army Knife Romance.
I'll tell you, there are many people that would think it is very bad too.
What?
Yeah.
My kids. I
Yeah.
play any music that I like for my kids right now, and they are like, "This is
They're not old enough to appreciate it.
this is horrible."
Hey, listen.
You need to
We're
be
also just
We're old
we're
now.
old, and the music that we liked, like a lot of the music that even my dad would like, I'm like, I don't know.
But Derek Thompson.
turns out the music my dad likes, I love now.
But it took you a while.
Derek Thompson.
Steely Dan.
Derek Thompson,
Steely
who
Dan.
does a podcast called Plain English. Incredible. It's one of my favorite listens. But he talks about how pop culture is dead. There are more streams of music from decades past right now than there are streams of music that is actually being released today.
Wow.
Yeah, but is that not an accumulation,
Well, it's
a collection of? You have way more years.
What most of the data is saying is that people are drawn more to older songs than they are anything that's being released. Basically, it's saying that music today sucks.
Steely Dan is just so good, though.
Sabrina Carpenter is really good, though.
Hey, she is really good. I really like her.
I do too.
Yeah, she's very good.
My kids like her.
I feel like you're just drawn to
Should
all
let
of
her-
the
you-
scantily clad pictures. That
What are you talking about?
Excuse me,
I
Jay.
like
You
Miley
should let your
Cyrus.
kids listen to it. It's way
Well,
too
I feel like
sexual.
you're just
Yeah.
drawn to the Cannonball music video.
No,
But the
her last album was really good.
who's
Miley Cyrus's.
but not.
Mercers.
And that could also be maybe indicative of the whole streaming thing of the fact that there's a lot of people that are older, more people that are older than people that are younger.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
And there's
a-
more years of music
Yeah,
to
You
go
guys
back
in-
and listen
You guys
to.
into Juice World?
never heard of him.
Yeah, he's R.I.P.
I know. My kids really like Juice World.
Just,
Did he
This
die?
feels.
And we were
And by the way, it's old. I just want to say this,
Yeah.
and I'm not calling you out.
Yeah.
But I do think it is an old person thing to now bring up Juice World when like his prime was probably 6 years ago.
the kids are into it now because it's on Fortnite.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so like the kids are now getting into it that are like 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. And
Mm.
they're wanting to play it in the car the other day. And so we're listening to it. I'm like, guys, I hate to break this to you, but this is emo rap.
It is, yeah.
And they were like, no.
Yeah.
Because like any emo stuff I'll play for them, they're just like, oh, turn this off, you know. And I'm like, guys, this, I was like, I don't even have to look
Yeah.
it up, but I promise you this is emo rap.
They-
and then we looked it up and I showed it to them and it said, it says that Juice World is emo rap.
Yeah.
And they were like,
they're not old enough to appreciate emo though. They're
My
not.
son-
They're
this
not
is-
feeling the emotions.
One of
yet.
my favorite. This is the funniest thing my son has said to me in a long time. He came downstairs and we were just chatting about something. He goes, "I think I need to start like watching more movies and listening to more music." He says, "I'm just not very cultured." I'm like, "Bro, I'll take you through a whole catalog of music. You know, what do you
Yeah.
want to listen to?" And
Yeah.
so, and of course, it's like 2 seconds later, he's like, "I'm good."
Yeah. Back to video games.
I'll stay uncultured.
Back to NBA 2K. Thank
Yeah.
you. Which it is like, it's funny we comment about Fortnite, but it's like, go back to how many songs do you remember from the games that you played?
Oh yeah.
Like I remember one of the Madden ones had this like Joe Budden song, pump, pump, pump it up.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like, Yeah, that song stuck in my head for an eternity.
Well, like all the songs from like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Dave
Yeah,
BMX,
great point. Great
like
point.
all those songs. Like if you played them right now, I'd know the entire song.
NBA
because-
Live 05.
So the goal is if you want to be an artist
but that's Fortnite now.
I know.
that's what I'm saying. If you
Yeah.
want to be an artist that has disappeared from mainstream conversation, you want to make your way back into it, you need to get on Fortnite.
Get your song on Fortnite.
Like
Gotcha.
speaking of, apparently Hank Hill from King of the Hill and Bob from Bob's Burgers are going to be characters on Fortnite.
What?
Good for them.
I'm about to bust.
Wow.
My friend, one of my friends who I would never think was playing Fortnite was talking and it was like, I was like, what are you doing this week? And he's like, I might just have to stay in and play some Fortnite. And I was like, you're playing Fortnite? It was our friend Barrett.
Oh, really?
He's playing Fortnite. I was like, here's my tag. Let's play some Fortnite. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me, Barrett, and Arden trio.
That's right.
We're gonna be kicking butt.
Yep. He'll be ready.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll answer some TQs, and we'll do.
And we'll talk about what our favorite song from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is.
Oh, okay. I'll look that up. We'll be right back. Really?
Oh, you'll love the playlist, though. You will know every song on this playlist.
And we're back after that quick break.
Yes, dude.
Man. Oh, I liked how on
Bring the noise.
how you could change the track on Tony Hawk
Yeah.
Pro Skater 2.
Yeah, that was cool.
You could pick your favorite song.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
My favorite was
Guerrilla Radio.
Yeah, Guerrilla Rage. That's what introduced me to Rage
Rage.
Against the Machine. Yes.
Yeah.
Same with Fu Manchu.
Rage Against the Machine. I was an 8th grader on a bus heading to a basketball game, and my buddy Vance Sharp had it on his CD Walkman. And it's like, you need to listen to these guys. And I knew once I listened to it, if I ever came home with this CD, my dad would break it in half. I mean, probably not really, but he would be so disappointed in me if I was listening to that.
I remember I had the first Rage, the self-titled, and I had to hide it because my sister got it for me. And so I had to hide it and like play it low enough in my room.
My dad, I bought the Mark, Tom, and Travis show.
Oh my gosh.
That live Blink-182 album.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how he found it, but he did. He took it and he told me, like, now as an adult, he would play it for his friends, like, listen to what I found my son listen to. And he would listen to one of them. That's just the song with just the cuss words.
My son was such my dad was such a music like fanatic. He played music his whole life. I played music because of him. And so I think he was always just more disappointed with the stuff that I would listen to. It's like, dude, you grew up on Chicago and Steely Dan and Earth, Wind and Fire, and you're listening to Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I am.
And you're like, Dad, this is called evolution.
Yeah. I don't think the evolution from Steely Dan is to Limp Bizkit.
I can make the
connection.
The connection. Yeah.
Nothing. I tell you, it's talk about
Limp Bizkit is a good. I understand that one.
Do you think
it's like funny to me that they're coming? They're making them come back. Same with Creed and all of these bands. It's because of social media. All of a sudden, people are like rolling out for Limp Bizkit concerts.
I know.
It's because here's why. It's because now the people that listened to them back then can afford to go to their concerts, and so they can go there and go to their concerts, and like they're the ones spending money on stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why they're doing it.
They were wildly popular.
They were.
Oh yeah, they were like the biggest band in the world for probably 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bump, 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 bump. It was so good.
Chocolate starfish.
Chocolate starfish.
All right,
it was so good.
Let's answer some Twitter
Guys,
questions.
why do we talk about
Why?
Twitter questions. You got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you. This is Twitter questions. Now let's get down to it.
Oh boy, by me listen to that in my youth group. He's just
Damn.
like, dude, why are you listening to them? They're so bad for you. I'm like,
Shame.
That's awesome.
I remember I went to a youth group thing, and it was like they printed out the lyrics of like an old song and a new song. It's like, this is what you're listening to. It's like, it's because it's really good.
It's because it's freaking awesome.
Exactly right.
yeah, it is.
That's exactly
it did
what I'm
not-
listening to.
It did not speak to me. It did not.
That's really surprising to me.
That didn't speak to your heart, L man.
No, it did not. No, it did not.
I could sit here and tell stories for hours about Luke at youth group and things that happened.
Here's the thing. I was devil's advocate.
Twitter questions.
We don't have to do that
We could sit
because
here
I know
for-
exactly what you're talking
There
about.
is a specific meeting with a specific small group
We don't need to do it.
that
We can tell
that
later.
we won't talk
We'll
about.
talk about it later.
We won't talk about
I know
it.
you guys. If you don't know,
I know what you're going to say.
We won't
I
talk
know.
about it.
I'm not going to do it.
We won't talk about it.
I want to do it.
But
It was it's a moment that seared into my brain that I will never forget.
well,
I'll be on my deathbed when I'm
Remembering that.
101 years old, and someone will come visit me, and I'm like, okay, all right, go ahead.
first Twitter question comes from @Alaskan Strummer, who wants to know: is this fun?
No. Game 3 wasn't.
We're in the NBA Finals.
I do think it's fun.
Excruciating.
It's I don't think it's fun.
I think it's fun.
There's too much pressure. And like I'm thinking about if they lose,
That would not be fun.
that's
would
going to
be-
be the worst thing
It'd be
ever.
very bad. I would pivot so hard to the draft.
Yeah.
Oh,
Andrew
I would
be
just
like-
pivot
It
to
would-
college football.
I would pivot so hard to the draft. I'd just forget that it even happened. But yeah, it doesn't feel fun.
It'll ruin my summer.
It's not fun. Yeah, it'll ruin my summer.
Just like 2016 when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors. It'll
Yeah.
ruin my summer.
Yeah.
You had a good half of the summer though. Before that,
It was July, 5th?
4th, wasn't it?
Was it July 4th?
It was on the yes. I was at a parade.
Yeah.
We don't have to go over that now.
It was funny. Tyler Parker talking to Alex about the James Harden trade in 2013.
12?
Was that 12?
12.
Yeah.
Because it was our first
Right
year.
after the
And I was at the OU game against Notre Dame that night when that all. And it was like I don't even know if I had an iPhone at that point, but
You did.
having
You
that
definitely
broke.
did.
Oh yeah. I got one in like 9 or 10. That's right. Anyway, that's fun. So no, it is fun-ish.
No,
The vibe in Oklahoma City whenever they were here game 1 and game 2, like that's pretty special.
Yeah.
So I'll take that as fun. But
was
game
pretty-
3 was not
It
fun.
was pretty incredible. When they win, very fun. When they lose, it's
Not so fun.
it's the worst because if you lose in the regular season, at least there's all these other games happening.
yeah.
You know, and like it's not the eyes of the entire
Mhm.
nation
Mhm.
on it. But when they lose, I mean, everybody's watching. There are people
And everybody's talking about
that
it.
aren't even basketball fans that are watching right now.
Mhm.
Like
this was a
team that was won 68 wins.
And it's like we're gonna have to all summer. It's gonna be Twitter questions about J-Dub. Is J-Dub actually our number 2 guy?
It's the Celtics before they won.
Yeah.
Same conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
we don't have to go there yet. It's still
It's only 2-1.
it's 2-1. It's still early in the series.
Although the
guys.
team that won game 3 won 86% of NBA finals.
Gotta win.
they should win tonight.
Got- Gotta
I'm like,
win.
That's such a that stat. I mean, like most of those are based on people who are already up 2-0 and lost game 1 or game 3.
Yeah,
No, that's not right.
no, it's not.
Okay, guys, let's move on to our next Twitter
What is
question.
I don't know, but it's not good.
It's not.
It's not good, but
I don't feel as hopeless though.
But
as
you
that.
know what? Weren't the Cavs down 3-1 to the Warriors in the finals?
yeah.
And they came back and won.
But they're not
the-
down 3-1. They're down 2-1.
the 15 Warriors were down 2-1
The 15 Warriors.
before they won.
Hmm.
So
Hey,
The Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors beat the Cavs
yeah,
in 15.
Yeah,
Did they win
Yeah.
all of their championships against the Cavs?
No. The Cavs beat the Warriors.
No. We're talking about 2 different series.
Oh.
So the first year the Warriors won the championship, they were down 2-1
Mm-hmm.
against the Cavs,
let me
right?
find the box score.
Was it? No, they had won 2 championships by then. That was the second one.
They won game 1. They lost game 2 in overtime to the Cavs. They lost game 3 to the Cavs, 91-96. And then they won the next 3 games and won the title.
Must be nice.
So it's that there's that Alex brought it up the other day, the Steve Nash quote. When you lose, it feels like you're never going to win again. And when you win, you feel like you're never going to lose again in the playoffs. It really does feel like that. Yeah. In game 3, LeBron had 40, 12, and 8 with 4 steals and 2 blocks against the Warriors. Matthew Dellavedova had 20.
Ben Mathurin. You mean Ben Mathurin?
Yeah.
Dele.
No, that was their first championship.
It was their first title.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
15,
It was the
That's what I was
Warriors'
trying to say. It was
first
the 15.
Oh.
15 was their first title.
And
Yeah.
they beat the Cavs, and then they lost in
Lost to
16
the Cavs.
Then in 17 and 18 beat the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? I guess you're right.
Yeah.
All right, let's do T-Quest.
Okay, here,
Yeah.
next Twitter question.
Sorry,
is-
Andrew. I cut you off.
It's just I didn't realize all of those runs.
Don't play too much of it, or else it'll
I know.
kill our.
all
I
of
know,
those
I know,
runs.
I know.
From the Warriors. They beat the Cavs,
Wow.
except for the last championship they won. They beat the Celtics, and 22 or whenever that was.
Wow.
Hey guys, let's go to our next Twitter question.
guess I
It
forgot
comes
that.
from @JoeUtall2014, who wants to know what is a hobby we can all take up collectively so that we have something to think about, pods to listen to on the days after losses.
Gardening.
I mean, working in your yard.
Yeah.
That is
I do
gardening.
some of that.
I always said gardening. I couldn't hear what he said.
How about this? Magic: The Gathering
Okay.
card game. Pivot.
Pivot.
I'd
to-
do it.
You would.
I just bought some.
How do you think life would be if you weren't a sports fan?
Better.
Mine would be very different.
Andrews
Yours
would be
specifically
extremely
would be
different.
very different.
Mine would be very, very different.
But you wouldn't. But you miss the high highs.
It's worth it, man.
You
Yeah,
do
it's-
thigh
it's-
highs?
It's
The
all
high
worth it.
highs.
Oh.
It's even these moments of the lows that like you bond with your fandom, like and the
Yeah.
people around you. Like you
The
commiserate.
Warriors stat really helped me.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The one you just
Because it
looked up?
felt.
Let it out.
I mean,
the
can you?
2-1.
I mean, just
They're
let it
imagine like losing to the Cavs in Cleveland in Game 3, and you just think, how are we going to beat LeBron in any of these games?
Didn't Cleveland have an injury at that point? Wasn't like Tristan Thompson injured?
Tristan played in these games.
Did he not? I can't remember what happened. I feel like the Cavs had an injury that was a big deal. So maybe we need one. Who could we injure? If you could injure one Pacers player, who would you injure
Oh,
and how?
let's not do that.
Oh, okay.
They were missing Kyrie and they were missing Kevin Love.
Okay. So
Hey guys,
how do you feel now?
let's.
Jay?
Yeah, shh. Jay, don't
Still feel okay.
Don't listen to that. Hey, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from @IamKevKevBot, who wants to know who needs more minutes in Game 4.
Who needs more minutes?
More minutes.
I mean, iHeart needs to play more. I think he only played 18 minutes. I would like to see more Kenrich Williams. He played 2 minutes in that game.
Dude, hold on. Kenrich playing 2 minutes in that game after you play him in game 2 to great success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't.
Why?
I don't know what the short leash on Kenrich is about. Honestly, I don't quite get it.
We're trying to
But-
go too small.
So
But like, go small with Kenrich then,
you can play Kenrich next to Chet. They did it in game 2.
dude, and it worked.
Yeah.
Chet, iHeart, Kinrich, same time. Go
You know
big.
Chet. You know Chet's stat line from game 3, Taylor.
Do I know it?
I bet you do.
Did he only end up with like 15 points or something? 17?
He had
20.
20-10 with 2 assists and a steal. It sounds pretty good.
It sounds good, but then you realize most of that came like in the first 7 minutes of the game.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, J-Dub and Chet have been at times the reasons that we're like, if they would just play a good game, then we could win. They both played well. It was the bench that didn't show up in this one. And Shea just wasn't up to his standard either. You know, he had 24. Like Shea needed to be better in that one too.
And for him, inefficient.
Yeah. What I didn't like about that game is it did not feel like the Thunder beat themselves in that game. In game 3.
They very much did.
I disagree.
It didn't feel like it necessarily in the moment, but in hindsight, especially look at the statistics, or like the turnovers and the missed shots and the lazy defense. And
the defense was not
the
great.
TJ McConnell stuff.
I feel like the Thunder, there were so many controllable things on the Thunder side that are like simple things. Like the turnovers they had. Shea travels on a play where he stops and looks for a teammate with just like indecisive, like he traveled in indecisiveness. Like when does that happen?
Yeah, but I just feel like that maybe this is a difference of perspective too, because I just feel like all of those mistakes happen because you're trying to adjust to what the Pacers are doing, and this is your response. And it felt, it felt like all of their mistakes and all of the bad things were happening because of what the Pacers were doing.
Yeah, I just think it was I genuinely believe they had a lack of focus in that game. I just don't think that they didn't play. That wasn't, I mean, they got out thundered by the Pacers, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think a lot of it was I think they shot themselves in the foot many, many times.
But I just think like the Pacers did to the Thunder, what you just said, what the Thunder do to other teams, which is you throw so much stuff at them that they can't play their game normally.
Yeah.
And I just felt like the Thunder nothing about that game was the normal Thunder way of playing. And it was because of what the Pacers were doing. And there was not an adjustment.
But it's not, in my opinion, it's not something they can't overcome. Like,
I agree.
Inbounding the basketball. Like how many, I mean, you run a press break when you're teaching kids that are 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking about a press with some of the best basketball players in the world. You think they can't overcome that? It's not rocket science here.
They'll be fine.
We got to win.
It's like they can adjust.
Yes.
They couldn't adjust in
They
the
can
game.
adjust to the next game, but I'm just saying they couldn't adjust in that game.
Obviously they couldn't. They kept giving the ball to TJ McConnell.
Hey,
I mean, there were at least 3 different scoring possessions that were impacted by TJ McConnell like that, like stupid ways.
3.
Yeah.
That's 6 points, and we're talking like 4-point possessions for them basically.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's
What
fine.
are you doing?
Are you miffed and are you peeved?
Miffed and peeved.
Yeah.
For sure. Anything outside of the playoffs that got you miffed or peeved?
No.
I don't have enough time to play Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Kart World.
How is it?
Sorry to hear that.
It's good.
Is it good?
It is very good.
What's taking up all your time?
Huh? Work. Nothing. Taking naps. Watching TV. You know, the things.
Yeah, it's hard to find time, man. That sounds
What's taking
tough,
up all your
man.
time?
That's really
it's
rough.
Television,
Naps.
sleep.
You know, work.
Damn.
Work.
Sorry, man. You sound really
I know.
tied up.
Stretched too thin, man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how am I gonna unlock Fishbone, dude? I really want him. You just gotta play a lot.
Yeah.
Takes a lot to get him, but it's fun. You play online, you're racing against 23 other people.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
That sounds like a lot.
It's very fun. Stop by, play with
Donald Trump hands.
It's a lot of fun.
It's very fun.
Very fun.
It's very fun.
Okay.
I'm the cow a lot. Seen the cow?
Hey,
No.
listen, game
I
4
haven't seen the guy.
tonight, 7:30 Central Standard Time. Must win situation. Backs against the wall.
Backs against the wall. Gotta win.
Got to win.
They can win. They should win.
They will win.
There we go.
I believe that we will win.
What if they don't win?
Don't talk.
Don't
about
talk
that.
to me for
What
3
do you-
days.
what do you- yeah. We've officially. I will sell my house and we will start Fritter Nation.
Fritter Nation.
Can we
My
hold
boy
on?
Joey Morris reached out to me. He's ready.
Okay.
Says, let me know.
We should do Fritter Nation.
We should just do it anyways.
We should do it anyways. You know, one time I was in semi-serious talks about starting an egg roll truck.
Yeah, I remember this.
You remember this?
Yeah.
There already is an egg roll truck.
No, but this is a different kind of egg roll.
Taste
egg
of
roll
Soul.
truck. I haven't seen Taste of Soul in a while.
I don't see egg food trucks much anymore.
So it would
They
be
started realizing you can't charge the same that you can for restaurants. Like that's the craziest thing about it. It's like this is $15 for a meal out of a truck.
But I
Yeah,
think,
I know.
but
yeah,
like,
but it's good.
but
We have to stand outside here
you need a
And wait.
you need a
and wait is a big thing.
like that
Out on
that
food trucks,
lobster
too.
truck.
Yeah.
I want to find where it's at, but I can't.
Have you put in any effort to try to find it?
Yes, I've seen them on Facebook, but the line when I go by the line is so long.
Yeah.
People
And you
love
have
Have
that
you
lot.
looked up the menu, by the way? Look at the prices before you go.
They're
'Cause
high.
They're,
Yes,
they're
Wait,
extremely high.
It's high, but I do want it.
So I'm
It's like a $28 lobster roll.
I'm like, what? The one that makes me crazy is I'm like, so much of what you pay at a restaurant is to cover the overhead of a building that you rent. It's like
They gotta pay for gas, dude.
I think food trucks are a sham.
That is a take, man.
That is a take.
But I want
Maybe
the lobster
sham's
roll.
too strong, but I just am
Pretty
like,
strong.
guys, what are we doing?
What do you mean? I mean, they're fun, man. You don't like fun things? It's pretty fun.
You think food trucks are fun?
Yeah, if you're out having a park day, you're like, man, I'm hungry. I can get this food right here that I couldn't get anywhere else. And it happens to be here right now. And it's hand-pulled noodles.
Which
Taste-
one's that?
Big Bang Theory. I don't know.
Thanks so much for listening to our show. We appreciate you guys.
Big bug.
We'll be back when we're back.
The thing I was laughing at in the middle of the pod